Subscribe to Niger's Craziest. Press the bell icon and never miss another video update.
Niger's Craziest does not add the view of any political parties, individuals, or religious group. This show is just for comedy purposes only. It might contain scenes with strong languages, strong satirical humor, links to a relative you might know, and references some may find offensive. If that kind of thing will offend you, because close your browser now and
get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Because that's what we do.
Comedians are absolutely insane. That means
Aha! So we are here now. We are here another one.
This is a banger.
It's a banger.
It's a mind blowing.
So we are here. The next one we want to talk about now is your brother, Prophet TB Bonshua. We are going to allow this young lady say all the things she wants to say. Let her say it. Our own is just to watch and add lips to it. So, young lady, take it away.
Let's go to TB Joshua.
Take us through.
Yeah. From Banda, there was how did you even get to TB Joshua? You went to TB Joshua's church, Synagogue. You spent 2 years in Nigeria, at the Synagogue in Lagos.
I want to put a disclaimer on this one.
Yes.
Because this is the depth of
the gist.
This is the gist of you know the most important part of everything. There are people. I said something. You know, you've been saying these things, my brother, for years now. I said something about TB Joshua a few weeks ago. I said TB Joshua is fake. He's a false prophet. He's not from God. Many people attack me.
He's a charlatan.
He's a charlatan.
He's not even saved.
He's not even saved. He's a jackal.
He's a sango. He's a babalao. He's a juju man that just came to the pulpit.
Exactly.
Forget about what you see on TV.
Thank you.
Forget about what he tells you.
You are about to hear what the reality of what really happens at Synagogue. The whole country of Zambia.
Yeah.
Zambians, everybody, they did videos, live broadcasts. Israel is attacking Prophet TB Joshua
because he's not real. He is telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth.
TB,
I've been to Synagogue.
Stay out of TB Joshua's way.
I've been to Synagogue.
Yeah, he's been to Synagogue. I used to run a Christian magazine. I wrote about TB Joshua on the front page. You know, I even tried to speak to his people, spoke to his PA. Let me speak to TB Joshua. These are the allegations that was given to me by someone who spent 14 years there as a deputy prophet. The next thing I got, death threats. So there's no way TB Joshua held my magazine in his church on TV and telling people this is not of God. Please tell us about that shrine, that cult,
exactly.
that place that is not a church.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
He's a ritualist.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
And people don't know.
People don't know.
African magic, black magic, that's what you see there.
Before you begin to speak about TB Joshua, you said something again when we were talking the other day that you used to go and whisper to TB Joshua to say, Daddy, before you close.
That person there.
That person, the one I told you about, has got money.
Prophesy.
Please don't forget to prophesy on that one. And that time, they are playing an advert on TV.
Yes.
And poor, gullible, manipulated, deceived individuals who are out there watching on TV are crying in tears thinking that God is moving.
Right.
Not knowing that Sitley is moving.
Sitley she collects the info, give it to TB Joshua. Let's start from why did you go to the synagogue?
Exactly.
Right, so I must put it up front to say, look, I know the tricks. Maybe next week Sunday or even tomorrow I'll be headlines on Emmanuel TV. They'll say Sister Sikle is a fraud, Sister Sikle is this, like they've been doing to Bisola. You know, Bisola, the one that
Bisola,
one that wrote the book on TB Joshua. Exactly. Now I personally know Bisola because we stayed together at the synagogue with
I'm sure Bisola is watching right now.
Yes.
And please follow Bisola. She has a lot. Follow her on Facebook. She has a lot.
Bisola, I tagged her, so I'm sure she's watching. Yes. So I personally stayed there with her, and I know how it works. If somebody's attacking, automatically
wait, how did you get to TB to synagogue?
So I was at Philip Banda's church, and we were first shown videos of the miracles from TB Joshua.
So he has a relationship with TB Joshua.
Not anymore.
He used to have a relationship.
Not anymore. And not anymore. That's true. People mustn't lie here.
Yeah.
And then they used to have a relationship, and then they would show us at overnight videos of TB Joshua, of him praying for women. And then there was a lady that used to take people to synagogue at that time. Her name was, I think, Mama Sarah or Mama Sandra, something like a white lady. Okay. And then there was a trip. Woo! Impact for Christ. We're going to synagogue, and everyone was excited. And at that time, I wanted to go more than ever because I had an ear problem.
Okay.
So my ear problem, I had an operation for my ear because my dad, I think my mom and my dad were fighting at home. I wanted to intervene, and he bashed me on the wall. And then I was partially deaf. So I went to had my ear operation, but I was still slightly deaf. So I had just started working at that time. I remember I just started working. I had my small car, my Fiat Palio. You know, I was okay. And then the trip at that time was 10,500 rand. Paid for the trip and went to synagogue. Got to Nigeria. When we got to Nigeria, our trip was supposed to be 7 days. Prayer line happened, and then I was prophesied on prayer line.
By who?
By TB Joshua. Okay. I was prophesied on prayer line. I think I fell and I manifested, and I was prophesied on prayer line that I need to stay. I'm an evangelist, and I need to stay at the church. Okay.
Your manifestation, would you say, because definitely you were not faking it?
I don't know what happened to me, but I was, when I came to.
Demons. TB Joshua's demon hypnotized you.
When I came to, I was told I need to stay at the church.
Okay. Yeah.
So the 7 days came, and then the South African group left. And I was
then you remained there.
Yes, I was
because you're an evangelist.
Yes, and I need to stay for training. Now, I was the first black South African girl to stay at the Synagogue Church of All Nations.
Okay.
Right? So it's not a hearsay, it's not a what. I was there, I lived there, I lived through it. So I stayed at the church, and then I was moved into the dormitory, stayed with the disciples at the dormitories, and sleep was something that I never knew. We never slept. When daddy is not sleeping, we don't sleep. We're running around. So for me, you know, with my experience with Philip Banda, when I spoke, people never believed me. So certain things I just kept to myself, and I thought, you know what, I don't need this drama. Let me just keep quiet because people will just never believe anything I say. So at that time, I was in the chorister. I was singing in the praise and worship team there with the three sisters. And
now this is synagogue.
Yes,
synagogue.
You were a chorister.
I was a chorister at synagogue.
So you stand in front.
So you're standing in front.
Yeah.
Yes. There.
Yes. I was a chorister at synagogue, and remember, I was the first black South African to be staying there. And then I remember my dad, TB Joshua, then paid for my parents to come because my dad wanted to see where I was staying. Okay. So he came to synagogue, came to see where I was staying, and before I get to that part of my dad, and then I was at the synagogue. So the first 2 months was difficult because I need to adjust. I'm South African, I'm in Nigeria, and the culture, it's
the
rough
food.
and everything. But I was very close to Sister Bisola. Now Bisola is the one that wrote the book.
Yeah. Okay.
So upon my arrival, I think within 3 weeks, I was told, you're going to Singapore. Singapore! Yes, you're going to Crusade Singapore. I went to Singapore.
With TB Joshua.
With TB Joshua.
Yeah.
So we flew in. I remember I flew with Bisola and everybody. We flew to Singapore. We got to Singapore. Got to Singapore. So now what we do, TB Joshua was having a big crusade in Singapore. So we fly a month.
But he tried to give you money to get to Singapore.
Yes. Oh yes. So we were called to the office, and he was like, you must take this money, put it in your suitcases. And I was like,
So that's like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And I was like, I don't want to be arrested for money laundering, you know.
So he wanted you to launder money.
Launder money.
Like to take money. That's
Yes.
No, I don't want to be arrested for money laundering.
Which is illegal.
Yeah, because I mean, when you get to the airport and they censor,
you have to declare.
You must declare.
Yes.
So then, I don't know what happened then. I know there was a sister who had a credit card. I don't know what happened with that situation, but anyways. So we got to Singapore. So we go there like a month or 3 weeks before.
All right.
Before TB Joshua
he arrives.
comes.
Yeah.
So when we get there, we must now make sure when TB Joshua arrives in Singapore, prayer line is ready. People who are coming to the prayer line are ready. We already know the who's in the country.
Hold on.
You know the money people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want us to take it slowly but surely.
Okay.
There's somebody watching right now. I'm concerned about people. I'm concerned. I'm not just sitting here with my brother here and my sister so that we can be excited about exposing somebody. But my main concern is people who are spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Thousands of rands, traveling to TB Joshua, thinking he can see, thinking he can prophesy, thinking he can. All these miracles are genuine and stuff. But take us through the prayer line.
And you must forgive us when we laugh and smile or whatever, because it's just funny. Because this is deception.
Exactly.
We see it, so we're not going to take it serious because we know these are like lies.
So when you get to, so I was there in Singapore.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It was my first time in Singapore. So we get to Singapore and we're given this lavish hotel, and then we're told, okay, fine, this is the church that's hosting us, and we get to meet the church people. So now remember, at that time I'm new, so I'm getting to know these things, but I'm always shadowing Bisola, because now she at that time she calls herself, she was the official madam. So when we get to a place, we need to know that, for example, this is where the prayer line will be. People who want to come to prayer line, who they are. So before TB Joshua comes, we screen you. So screening happens, what we call screening. You fill in forms, you tell us who you are, what's this, you come and we interview you. So as disciples, we need to find out from you, what's your name, what's your surname, why are you here, what's your problem? And you probably tell us you've got cancer, show us your medical report. You must bring your medical report. So you show us your medical report.
This is Synagogue you're talking about.
Yes. You bring your medical report of what's wrong with you, and then, okay, fine. So obviously from the way you're talking, then we find out, so what do you do? No, I'm a businessman, or I'm whatever the case is. So already, I know this one's a businessman. I have to write notes. That is why if people have been to synagogue, you'll note. Disciples always have a paper and pen in hand everywhere we go, because we need to always be jotting down notes and everything. So already we know to say, okay, fine, this person is this person is that, this person is that, and we already know what's happening. So, and which I say the beauty, no. The thing is, at synagogue, you're not just a chorister, but you work everywhere. Right. So by the time TB Joshua lands, then you'll be called to his hotel room 111. But I would never understand why the three sisters were always in TB Joshua's hotel rooms. Like everywhere we went to, why they were there and whatnot. And I would ask.
The three sisters are part of
the three main singers. Yeah.
They sing, okay.
Yes. And I would ask to say, but why are you guys sleeping here and you're here in Daddy's room all the time and you're not sleeping where we're sleeping? And I say, no, Sister Sickles, because we are cooking for him, we're ironing for him. And I once said to them, even me, I want to be part of this, I want to cook. He said, no, you can't. So, I mean, I'm a very curious person. I was like, okay, fine, not my business. But what I saw was, before the actual crusade, before there'll be prayer line, we have a debrief with TB Joshua. So we'll tell him to say, okay, fine. So in the prayer line, it's Israel, it's Mzwandile, it's Ali, it's Solomon, it's who and who and who. Then we'll say, okay, fine. So this one and this one and this one, they are the money bags. They are the ones that need business people, they need big prophecy. And then this one and this one have problems like this. So things that we see that are real ailments that we know that they might not really be able to be sorted out. We kind of push you to the back. But if you have money, we'll bring you to the front, because we always say at the end of the day, he can pray for you, but it's your faith that heals you. So exercise your faith. So I was like, okay.
TB Joshua is a scammer.
He's a scam.
So then I would
fraudster. That's what it is.
So then I would see that, I think, okay, fine, not my business, not my monkey, not my circus. We left Singapore. Oh, but in Singapore, my guy, the disciples were now sexing each other left, right, and center. So that's the thing. People will always say, TB Joshua's disciples are very horrible, they're cruel, they're this. But behind the scenes, we are sleeping with each other. Now, here's the thing for me, I was never prophesied on that I'm sleeping with disciples. And I remember in Singapore, TB Joshua called me to his room one day and he said to me, one of his boys wanted to marry me. What would my parents say in South Africa? And I was very honest with him, because my dad was still alive then. And I said to him, my dad told me, if I marry a foreigner, he will never bless that marriage in his life. So that's how it ended. But there were relationships that were happening, but they were unspoken. Do you understand? So we went back to Nigeria, continued staying in Nigeria. Now, the most weirdest part is that when you're sick as a disciple, you don't get to go to prayer line. We have our own private doctor and clinic within the synagogue at the back. And
so everyone else
goes to prayer.
The whole world must come for healing.
Yes.
But when disciples are sick, they've got a private doctor. Now see that.
And the most amazing thing for me was, I know people will say, I'm sure people are saying, yeah, she's a bitch, she's having sex. Look, I was in church, and if God was there, I was supposed to be picked out and say, let's deliver you from spirit of lust, which I never was. So I remember at synagogue, and then I had an abortion at the synagogue.
How did it happen? Who did you sleep with?
I was sleeping with one of the camera guys, you know, and I also slept with Daniel, wise man. He's a wise man now.
Wise man Daniel.
His name is Daniel. He's a wise man now. He's Daniel. So I was pregnant.
So hold on. Hold on.
So we don't want it to go too far. So let's just pick out key points of what she said. You know.
This is TB boy.
Your brother. You know, you sickly. You just left one problem. You decided to carry yourself to Nigeria to come and enter another problem.
At first, you know, they can never brainwash you and allow everything to go off your body 100%. There will still be similar particles in your body.
Inside your body.
So what baffles me was when she came, they told her you have to stay for 7 days.
7 days.
Then you now become an evangelist.
No. They came for missionary.
Mission. Okay.
So the mission is supposed to last for 7 days.
Prayer line.
After the 7 days, TB now saw a vision for special. That same vision Philip Banda saw.
That one says she should have brain mind that suspects her. This is what happened when I was in
Philip Banda, and she did not know that. She even said that Philip Banda and TB Joshua, they are friends.
And they said, show me your friend, I will tell you who you are. You see, instead of to recognize it and to recognize that this is not the best place, but because I say she like that,
this girl like sickly.
Yeah.
She likes it.
Well, I don't want to. God will save you from the spirit of loss.
They now said they stay as evangelist. Small time they say you are going to Singapore, carry money. You say you don't want to do money laundering. And let's talk about the prayer.
The prayer line, it works like this. Like now, you will be in one side. Me, I'll be in one side. You will attend it to somebody. I'll be attending to somebody. There, it's just like an interview where you ask the person, what is your problem? How many children do you have? Everything about your life, you tell us.
Tell them, they will jot it down.
Everything will be recorded. Video recorded, audio recorded, and jotting down. So by the time you are done, the master planner will now arrive. Before the crusade, you will now be called for a meeting. So you show the video, you show the you tell the pastor or who the person is about this person's problem. So during crusade, they will now see that same vision that you have told them that this person have cancer. I've been battling it for 10 years, so you will just see pastor.
So they will select. They have criteria. Maybe they have criteria.
Yes,
you have to have money.
Yes, if you have money, if you're a businessman, they will talk about.
If you don't have money, you will die. You will die with your sickness.
They will sideline you. And again, that time you will not see pastor with full confidence. There is a man here. Your name is Kamilo Kokongi Kalamilo Kobamba. You see, if you know you are the person, you have been battling cancer for 10 years. What they have interviewed the person and they have been informed. If
you notice, all the old church they use the same tactics.
Yes, all the fake.
It's the same tactics.
All the fake fast.
I didn't say fake.
Okay.
All the churches that.
No, let's say all the churches that always see vision and perform miracles.
They use the same tactics.
The same tactics.
So they travel, they are going to be giving themselves from behind. I know Wise Man Daniel. You remember that video we did of Wise Man Daniel? That one that you were Boko Haram.
Okay, that one that he came, they say Boko Haram.
It's Wise Man Daniel.
That one.
Like you wanted to beat him.
He was looking very fresh. I was looking that, why is this man fresh? Or that video, you know what baffled me about this church that we're talking about? That thank God say this girl get money. alive for them for be miserable.
Miserable.
Come to Nigeria. Every somebody that have left the church, go and see them when they confess, they will tell you their life is miserable.
That Bisola is hungry that we kill her.
I've watched another somebody that confess. He said, look at me, how many years I've left the church? No single job. No job.
Because all the time you used to go school and do something with your life, you are praying.
Hey, you are
so
there.
when you leave,
you have spent like 15-20 years there. No money for you, no business for you, no friend, no family.
Nothing.
Immediately they sent you out of the place.
Your life is useless.
You are now need to start from
So I
scratch.
want to ask something. This is a secret. She said she got pregnant. Who did she get pregnant for? Is it wise man Daniel or the cameraman?
Say the cameraman. She too. She's a chef.
She's a cheerful giver.
So
secretly, you are just giving. You don't even know.
Give
You don't know who got you pregnant.
This one can do and your boys, but these guys are very useless.
They're not even using condom.
That is the
Just enter. Poor.
They just.
So who now did abortion for her?
She said in the church.
They have some.
You
people.
go downstairs.
Oh, they have abortion unit.
The kids who tell you that one. Downstairs, they go there.
Oh, is it like chorus style unit?
Yeah, now
Abortion
which are
unit.
Okay. They have, she talked one thing. She said, if people will come from the whole world to come for deliverance, but when the disciples or any people working there sick, they will come for medical doctor. They have doctors that will treat them.
Oh, okay. So it's there that she went to do the
go
abortion.
downstairs.
So from each other, if you just have pregnancy, you just go down.
Yeah, go downstairs. They will call the doctor. They will put that inside your flu. Yeah, they remove it. That's it. And she said immediately they remove it, dress up, blah blah. There was service that day. Maybe they did it in the morning or the afternoon. In the evening there was service, and she was in the church singing. God will forgive us. Me too, I'm a sinner. Nobody is a sinner. Every somebody, God will forgive us. Now, going back now, she now said, from that church now, they do everything there. Every disciples that were forming holy, like we are Christ, like we are TB Bonshua disciples. We are holy. Men. We are wise men. We are, they have their list. Wise men, Daniel, wise men, Christopher.
There are plenty. All the
plenty. Unknowing to us, they were doing for back. After service or before service. Hey, these people are they are enjoyment.
You will not go and be wise men.
I don't know. We go to, but they will manipulation your life. Because 1 minute enjoyment, 20 years sufferness. I don't want that one in my life.
You can be a wise man. Think about it.
I will be a wise man off that place.
Oh, Philip Banda. You want Banda wise man?
Hold on.
Yes.
Look at it.
People, this is not a movie.
No.
This is not a setup.
Yeah.
This is reality.
Yeah.
I lived it.
This is reality. So many gullible people out there. When I said my story, when I said my own story, people said he's crazy, he's lying. Some say
he hasn't repented.
He hasn't repented yet. He's still doing stuff. But look, this is Sitley. She's been to a synagogue.
I loved it.
There's wise man Daniel. You see him coming on TV.
Yeah, he's still there.
When people look at these wise men, they say they're like TB Joshua. They're so holy. They're so
nothing.
Here's
I laugh because I've slept with most of them, and for me, I remember there was and maybe you'll ask yourself, but where did you sleep with them? Right. If you know synagogue, there are places that nobody knows where the disciples sleep. We've got our own dormitories. And visitors' quarters, most of the time, visitors are not there. So in between thingies, we know our signals. So we go, we do our thing, and we out. So when I discovered I was pregnant, I remember I confided in one of the sisters. I think it was Sister Yetunde or Lamine, someone there. And I told them, this is my situation. I was taken downstairs to the nurse. There's a nurse there in synagogue, and I had an abortion.
How did that happen? How did they perform the abortion?
In the house of God.
In the house of God. Downstairs
the house of God.
Church. Now, how was the process?
No. I went there and because I was now not seeing my period, I was sick and everything. Then they did the test and I was pregnant. And then they called in another doctor to come in. And then I remember they used the old way of termination, the one where there's a steel where they pull something out.
Yeah.
And I remember I was scared now. I was thinking, oh my God, please don't tell Daddy, because we call TB Joshua Daddy. Please don't tell Daddy. Please, I beg, don't tell Daddy. They said, no, don't worry. Everything is fine. You're okay. Immediately after that, I had chorister practice. I went straight on stage to rehearse.
Soon after abortion.
Immediately after abortion. As if nothing ever happened.
But when you see people going there and you see TB Joshua calling them out, saying you've got a spirit of lust.
Yeah.
You've got this.
Yeah.
Very Sister Sitley. She's seeing him on the altar.
Right in the house.
Right in the house.
Yeah.
Some of the sisters that I stayed with at Synagogue don't have wombs. These were sisters that would confide in me and tell me, because I was worried to say, I'm having an abortion in the church, I'm going to be in trouble. And they were like, don't worry, it will be okay. After all, you are given to the church, you need to be, you are given. Because I was told I was supposed to stay there for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know? And for me, it was a way of life where you see, disciples don't get married. If disciples do get married, you kind of get ostracized out of the church. Yes. I've got a friend, her name is Angela. She was the first white disciple to stay at the synagogue. So she got married at the church, and then she also saw things and she subsequently left. She wants nothing to do or hear or say about Synagogue Church of All Nations. She left. And me being there, I'm very vocal and I always ask. So every time at night we have disciple meetings. Now at this disciple meeting, that's when we learn the language, we learn the speech, we learn the behavior, we learn what to say, what not to do. That is why when visitors come, for example, most of them will say, TB Joshua's disciples are rude, they are cruel, they have no heart, they are bullies and everything like that. But the main thing is we told what to do, what not to do, and what not. And the most amazing thing is you are assigned. For example, if they say there's a special group coming from South Africa, you are assigned to this group. You must be in charge of them. There are certain visitors, some visitors don't come to the dining hall. Some visitors don't come to the dining hall because everyone sits in a normal dining hall.
Yeah.
Some visitors, you are assigned to go issue and give them their food in their rooms, be it breakfast, lunch, or supper. They just don't come to
so females are attached to males.
However, you are just attached.
It's not like female to female.
No, for example, I'm from South Africa, so if South Africans are there, they'll attach me to say, maybe they'll understand me better. And I'm very eloquent, I speak well, so I'll be attached to say, you look after that person and make sure that person is fine. Whatever that person wants you to do.
What is whatever?
Whatever they want you to.
Now, you were there.
Yes.
You were assigned to this rich man.
Yes.
And then the wife walked in on you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
I wish I could take my clothes off to show you. So I think my parents remember this because I was flown in from Synagogue because my buttocks, like the left and the right, have burn marks, right? I was burnt with hot water. I was burnt with hot boiling water. Because unfortunately for me, this rich businessman, he is a South African. He is in South Africa.
A lot of people know him in South Africa.
He is in South Africa.
He went to TB Joshua.
He went to TB Joshua's and I was assigned to look after him. And it so happened I was caught in the act with the businessman.
How did it happen?
By the wife. You know?
Are you guys allowed to do that? They said take care of him. So
take care of him. So it was
sexuality, whatever.
So it's kind of like normal with some of the girls within the church.
It's like it's an unspoken, normal thing.
Yeah, and I want to make an emphasis here. You know, in a church, when you're having sex, when you're given the free lines, the license to have sex like that, it means that place is a shrine. It's a sort of worship.
Exactly.
You know, it's a sort of worship. When you see a lot of fornication happening, where people don't really care about it and talk about it, because you need to do that to be able to keep the covenant with Satan.
And so, the altar.
So for me, I was there and I was busy. I was on top of the man. I was busy. And the next, I could feel, it's like I felt as if cold water burnt me. Like, you know. But now remember in the dining hall, if you've been to synagogue, you know, there's always an urn that's boiling with hot water.
Okay.
24/7.
Yeah.
So I think that woman went there, took water, and then she came.
That's his wife.
Yes. And splashed me. You know, and when I was splashed with that water, so I quickly got dressed and then I ran down. So I ran and I reported this incident, right? And then I was taken to Daddy's office, TB Joshua's office. And I explained what happened. I remember I
To
had
TB Joshua.
Yes, I had to take off my dress to show my bums because now I started getting, after being burnt,
Those
Yeah.
boils.
those boils.
Yeah.
So I started getting boils on my buttocks. And then this side, I've just fornicated. This side, my bums are boiled. I was flown back into South Africa. So I flew back to South Africa, and I remember I was taken to one of the private clinics here because I had 3rd-degree burns. And when I was released from the private hospital, I had to go home to heal. So if my mom and my siblings can remember this, I would walk around the house naked because I couldn't. It needed to be exposed to cold air because it would damage
Heal.
itself and do whatever. And every time I was told, when you are asked what happened, you must say you were walking past the urn and the tap of the urn burst and the water burnt you.
That was
my story.
That was the narrative they gave you.
That was the narrative of my story.
What did TB Joshua say to you when you met him in the office and you were showing him your buttocks?
When I showed him, he said, hey, bring it down. And then I had to bring it down. And then they spoke Yoruba that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I was told to go out. Then I was called back in again. Then I was told, Sister Sikle, you are flying out to South Africa. Go pack your bag. So the very next day I was flown out to South Africa. Because remember now he must contain this wealthy businessman who's funding, just bringing lots of money.
Yeah.
So to them, they were told that I was chased. Because I was caught in the act.
You forced yourself.
But for me, I knew that I had to go get better. And after I got better from my healings of my buttocks, I went back to Synagogue. Because I stayed, I think, for about a week or two. Then I flew back to Synagogue and I was there at Synagogue.
You are walking down the stairs. Was it when you went back for the second time or before you left? When you're walking down the stairs, you were following TB Joshua. You were telling him that I want to go back. I want to go back to South Africa.
Beaten up.
And
I was beaten up. Yes.
TB Joshua beat you
I
up.
was beaten up. Yes.
How
through that?
I think I've shared with some of the people. If some of the people remember, I've shared with some of them. Now remember, I think I've shared with some of the people that are here, and I was like, no, it was holy anger. It's that's how they say it, daddy, holy anger. Because I remember at that time I had my second abortion.
Okay.
And I was tired
in
now
the
of
synagogue.
This. Yes. So I was tired now of this, and I was like, look, I need to go back to South Africa. I want to go get married. I want to build my life. I can't always be here because I would watch that disciples don't get married to each other. And here it's just like and on top of that, I after I had my second abortion, I was punished. I was sleeping in the car park, right? So I was sleeping in the car park there, and
why were you punished?
Because I was vocal, and then they caught my cell phone. I was having chit chats with all these men visitors and all these people, and in most of them I was telling them what was happening and how I wanted to come back home. And I remember Jabu Hlongwane from Joyous Celebration. He came to Synagogue with his crew, and when he saw me, he's like, what are you doing here? As beautiful as you are a South African, what are you doing here? And I kind of briefed him. I said to him, Jabu, I want to go back home. I'm not happy here. He's like, so why aren't you going home? And I'm like, but I can't.
You don't understand.
He wouldn't understand. And I can't really talk much. I'm like, I can't because my passport, when you get there, your passport and everything stays in the office. I'm like, my passport and everything is there.
They take it away intentionally.
Yes. And I'm like, but I want to go home. And I remember Jabu, he was there because he was shooting, him and Joyous, a few members of Joyous Celebration. They were shooting the song, God's Time is the Best Time. So Jabu kept on saying to me, something is wrong with this church. You need to leave. And I'm like, I wish I could leave, but I couldn't. So now I think some of the disciples saw that I was continuously talking to Jabu and the Joyous Celebration members. Then I was reported at the office. Then I was told I'm no longer allowed to be seen with them. I was assigned to a different group. That's when I bolted out. And I remember TB Joshua was walking to his room. So his bedroom is right at the end of the church. End. So he sleeps alone there. And I followed him up, and
He sleeps alone with his wife?
No. Disciples are at one level floor, and then the wife is on a different level floor. They don't sleep together in the same. He's alone, right at the top end of the church. So I was running up to say, because now I want to go back to South Africa. I don't like being here, because I remember Jabu Hlongwane saying, you now look like a Nigerian, even your English, everything. And I'm like, I want to go home. I don't want this anymore. Hey, so now I'm when I want something, So I think I kind of provoked the pissed him off, and the next thing, I don't know what happened. I was boom.
TB Joshua hit
Yeah. And then I kind of felt that. But then I remember when he walks to his disciples, so I fell onto somebody. And I ran to my room, I was upset. And then obviously the sisters came and said, don't mind, holy anger. You know he's your father. You know a father disciplines a child. You are a child now. So please understand. So I had to stomach it in and I was like, okay. All right, fine. But I still wanted to go home.
Right.
You know, then we were taken to the prayer mountain. And this for me was always something that I questioned, to say the prayer mountain that visitors go to is not the prayer mountain that TB Joshua goes to.
How is that?
You know, it's completely different. They might show you old furniture and say, this is, remember it's a script.
Yeah.
When you come to prayer mountain, we'll say, okay, everybody, praise the Lord. That's what we say. Good morning, praise the Lord. On your left-hand side, this is the place where TB Joshua, man of God, prays. And it's old. But that is not the one. Where he prays, God, I have seen with my own eyes.
Is that where you used to swim naked?
Please, that is where, ask Bisola, she will tell you. There, you don't know whether it's human being or fish that is there. You don't know what is going on there, but it's diabolic. You know, and that is where many people's pictures are there. If the picture is not buried, the picture is
stuck to the
nailed to the tree. That is where everything happens. But now for us, it's like, you know, you look at back now and you say, but like I always pinch myself and I say, but Siche, like you end up thinking that you're making up stories.
Yeah.
Because you don't believe that you were in there, you were in it, you were in there. I mean, like when these people were made wise men, I laughed my head off. I was like, even me, I could have been wise woman if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And you ask yourself, why is it that the disciple girls that are there are not married? Why is it that the disciple girls that are there don't have children? Because many have lost wombs in that process. Many disciples who came there with sicknesses. I've seen disciples die, dead bodies. Where you wake up, there's a dead body, it must be thrown in a trash can.
Trash can?
Yes.
I've
seen dead bodies where disciples...
In the church?
Oh my God. Disciples have ailments, but we can't be prayed for. We're just working for the church. We're working for God. And you see people. I don't know how many dead bodies or dead people I've seen within the church. But when you get back to South Africa, because remember, I had gone there through Philip Banda. So you get back to South Africa and you're like, oh, God is good. And everybody thinks you're the best person in the world because you're from TB Joshua's church. But when you're alone, you're like, man, things are not added up. Like now I look back to say, how come I got married twice and both my husbands died? You know, like for me, it's one of those things where you like, number one, Banda said to me, you must marry at 27, and I'm sure it was going to be someone from his church. I didn't marry at 27. I got married to the age of 23, and my first husband died, you know. And when my first husband died, when I went back to Impact, Banda chased me out of the church. And when I remarried again, I remember I sent an email to TB Joshua saying, I'm getting married, please pray for me. And when I was told, no, I shouldn't get married. I should come back to Nigeria. And I was like, no, I want to get married again, you know. And I got married to my second husband, and my second husband, okay, so my first marriage was 4 months, and my second marriage, he died, my husband, and I was kicked away from the church, and I was even kicked out of my mom's house. My mom kicked me out of the house, so I had to find a place to stay. And then when I got married the second time around also, I was married then for 5 years, then my husband passed on. But in hindsight, I look back and I say, why did I lose people that were so close to me? My father and I were very close. Ask anybody. I lost my husbands. And the one person that I'm supposed to be close to, that's my mother, is the one person that wants nothing to do with me. She's completely rejected me.
Captured.
She's completely rejected me.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, it's my truth, it's my story, I lived through it. And the fact that I was married twice, widowed twice, look, it doesn't define me. It happened to me.
Yeah.
If it's a spiritual thing or whatever the case is, I don't know what the flip happened, but people died. Do you understand? So for me right now, it's a matter of, I sit back and I look at my life in hindsight and I'm thinking, what happened? For example, when the building collapsed in Nigeria, when the building collapsed in Nigeria, I was no longer part of the church, but I was contacted to say I must assist with driving around to the different provinces in South Africa.
Who contacted you?
By the office, the TB Joshua office.
From Lagos or from here?
Yes. No. I was contacted to go to the office in Rivonia. I got to the office in Rivonia. TB Joshua was called that I'm there already. Then he spoke to me.
Okay.
And the instruction
he gave you instructions.
The instruction was that I need to assist with giving the families money.
Financial
whatnot. So we would drive around with like bags of money.
Okay.
So for example, if your husband or your wife passed on, we get there, we speak to you, we all knew we had to say the same thing, and we leave 100,000 or 200,000 with you and we leave. So all of that was done to try and silence the families because of the debts that were there.
Yeah.
I remember when the building collapsed, people were phoning me saying, "Are you at Synagogue?" And I'm like, "No, I'm back in South Africa." But the most amazing thing, the building collapsed on the other side, but with this side where the church was, the building didn't collapse, because anyways, that's where we sleep, that's where the disciples sleep, and that's where TB Joshua sleeps up there at the top. So most of the business people that used to tithe with TB Joshua, their businesses are either crumbling, or they're not making it well, or they've stopped for some reason.
I have a mother.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's probably watching now.
Yeah.
This is a woman who took care of me during my early days of starting ministry in Zimbabwe.
Yeah. As a young person.
I traveled together with the man that I call Dad. He's from Nigeria. I'm sure they're probably watching now. He's from Nigeria. We went together to TB Joshua. They believed so much in TB Joshua. They sent money, a lot of money, dollars. They used to send money to that place.
Yeah.
They have a son.
They'll clean you. That's what they do. They clean you.
They've been trying to get the son to be healed for so many years.
Oh, wow.
Joshua Iginla ate their money.
Yeah.
Johnson Suleiman ate their money.
False prophets.
Joshua Iginla told them,
false
bring
prophets.
So much money, your son will be healed.
Iginla is a false prophet, is an adulterer.
Johnson Suleiman did the same thing.
Guy.
Whenever Johnson Suleiman would go to Zimbabwe, it was my mother in Zimbabwe and my father. These were like my foster parents, not my biological parents. They would make sure that they put in so much money,
take care of him,
to take care of Suleiman in Zimbabwe.
And he goes to strip clubs here in Rivonia. No, a stripper got in touch with me and told me how they did. Yes.
Now look at that.
Yes.
Think of the thousands of people who are giving money to these people, thinking that they'll be blessed in return.
It's God.
Hear me and hear me well.
Wow. There's God.
A declaration I want to make on this broadcast right now. I don't know where you are watching from. I don't know where you are seeing this These are thugs. These are These people are hustlers, spiritual hustlers. They will hustle all the money out of your bank account.
Yes,
and
yes.
they'll leave you broke.
That's what they do.
My foster mom is a witness to this. Right now, as we speak, my young brother is still the same. But this is not my biological family.
Yes,
but this
adopted family.
Yes, adopted family. He's still the same. They went everywhere looking for healing, deliverance.
Yeah.
They went through TB Joshua.
They lied to them.
There. These are all lies. Everything you see on TV, it's either it's staged, it's either it's demonic.
Yeah.
Listen, this is not a campaign of trying to run down some people, but this is the moment of truth.
Yeah, this is
the
scripture.
Truth must be, the truth must come out.
Yes.
And wherever you are, don't keep quiet. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Don't keep quiet.
I think for me, it's as I say, we're in this campaign called Gwanele and Fundis.
Right.
Yes.
For me, it's about speaking out, and being the voice to the voiceless.
Yeah.
Because people will say, Sitle, you're so vocal. I also have a story to share, but I'm afraid to speak. I'm afraid, what if I die? Because people are getting, I've been getting threats forever. People are getting threats and stuff forever. Here's another thing. Then my dad passes on. So my dad goes to TB Joshua. This is August, and then a few months later, my dad does not wake up. He's dead. And before he passed on, TB Joshua gave him a prophecy. I remember I was on stage singing because I'm a chorister, and he was there with my mom, and he gave him a prophecy on I see you packing your suitcase. Your suitcase is about to close.
And that was information from Banda. Don't forget that.
Yes.
So already my mom and dad were not having great times in their marriage, because my dad was not happy with the fact that the wife was not there.
Always in church.
Yeah. So my dad passed on, and then before my dad passed on, I was flown in from Nigeria. TB Joshua called me and he said, "You need to go home." And I'm like, I need to go home. Yeah, you need to go home. Something's going to happen, but don't take it as if you're not a Christian, because it mustn't traumatize you. So I flew into Johannesburg, and lo and behold, I got an SMS saying, "Condolences, your father." I got it from my cousin.
Yeah.
So from the airport, I went straight to my mom's house. When I got there, indeed, my dad's corpse was still there. And yes, TB Joshua sent his disciples to come to Johannesburg.
How many were they?
I think about 15 of them.
Okay.
And this was 2007. And they gave my mom about $5,000 to bury my dad.
This is from TB Joshua.
From
TB Joshua.
To your mother.
Yes.
Okay.
And I remember he personally called on the phone, and he said to my mom, and he said to us, to take heart, don't cry. Be strong. You know, it was his time. He had to go. And then he even told us that what the post-mortem would say. And then my dad was buried. He was buried by the synagogue people, and the 3 sisters came, which was amazing.
Yeah.
3 sisters came, and after that time, I remember after my dad died, Banda Philip sent his people to come to the house to come talk to us. And then after my dad's burial, I was then the disciples were there, so I was busy with them and everything. But after my dad's burial, that was the last time I actually had full access to my dad's house. Where I was literally had no more access to the house, because I think at that time that's when I wanted to start talking about the hurts, the pains, and everything that I had been through. You know, but then I was then taken back. I think I was then working at the synagogue at Cape Town branch.
Okay.
I became a worship leader there at the Cape Town branch also, because at that time TB Joshua had just established at the Cape Town branch.
Trying to expand,
there. But now the girl and the guy, I forgot their names, the disciples that were there, they also left the church. They'd gone back to the UK. It's like everyone that I was close to that were key, all of them has just left the church, and that's it. And I always ask myself to say, even some of the Nigerian sisters that have left the church, we still communicate through Facebook, through WhatsApp and everything. And all of them will always cry and say, no one will believe us. No one will believe what we want to say. That is why even when Pesola wrote the book, she was so ostracized about what she was saying. And I remember saying, but I can't sit back and say she's lying, because I know her. I lived with her. And some of these things that she's saying are things that I know, I've seen and lived through them myself. I might not know certain things that happened before I got there, but I was there. I lived in that moment. I was there. I know exactly what was going on in there. So I am expecting backlash. I am expecting that, because TB Joshua, once you start criticizing him, they'll have a Sunday service in your name. They'll do a
video.
Yeah, they'll do a YouTube video. They'll probably dig up all my archives when I was delivered. And they'll probably create stories of Sikhe doing that.
You edit stuff
they'll
and all
edit
that.
stuff. Or they'll bring people to come and say things about me. I'm waiting for it, and it's not going to move me.
Okay.
Oh, then his office has TVs everywhere.
Okay.
So what happens is all the TVs there, there's tape. So we tape everything. So when breaking news, everything comes, it comes through to us and everything.
Okay.
So most of the time we would sit there and he would come on stage and speak about it, and it's a prophecy, you know? And then we go back to the editing room and we'll edit the dates, edit everything as if it was said a year before it actually happened.
Yeah.
So
liar.
Yeah. So then you see these things, but now remember at synagogue, the fact that you're a chorister does not mean that you won't work in all the departments. You worked in every single department at synagogue. So you'd see these things and you'd pinch yourself on. I remember there was a Sangoma who came to synagogue from South Africa, and she was assigned to me. And she was sitting there and we were talking, and then I think Prophet had said he's going to speak to her, he's going to prophesy on her. And this woman had already taken off her beads in the room. And Prophet said, tell her to put them back on. She mustn't take them off. And then I had to tell her to say, put these beads on. And the woman says, no, I'm from prayer line. They said I'm healed. I don't want this thing again. Said, put those things back on. So she put them back on. Then we went on church there, and then there was a prophecy about her. And then the woman couldn't speak English, so I had to translate. So TB just said something to her, and the woman, he said to her, you are wearing beads and blah, 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 blah. And the woman says, yes, but you saw them at prayer line. And I'm saying, so immediately, like, you know when you speak, we hold the mic for you. But when you say something wrong, we quickly pull it out, and then the screen blanks.
Something that you don't want.
And we say, don't say this, say it like this, like this, like this, like this. Then it will come back on air again, then we'll go grrr. So if you're not saying what we want you to say, that is why you won't see our face. We'll put the mic like this, and then maybe TB Joshua will speak, and then you're not saying something right, immediately the chorister knows, they'll just start a song out of nowhere. Then we'll pull you back again and we correct you. You must say this and this and this and this. If you don't say this and this and this and this, you won't appear on TV. You won't. So most of the people, they will stand there and they will say things that we are whispering for them to say in the ear. Say this, say this, say this. Don't say this, don't say. If you don't, we edit you out completely, and that's that. So these are the things that we learned from there, and I was like, I could actually open a church in South Africa.
You also got information, and then when TB Joshua is moving around and prophesying, you give him information.
So isn't it before visitors come? We already remember there's a visitors form. You give us all the information about you.
What's your what?
Oh, and here's the thing: if you've been to synagogue, guys, why is it on Sunday, Saturday, before the actual prayer line, you are told you must wear your clothes that you will wear on the day of prayer line. So you wear it on Saturday before the prayer line. So whatever clothes you're going to wear on Sunday for the prayer line, wear it on Saturday, because that's when they do the pre-recording of you. So obviously, let's say Saturday I'll be wearing this, on Sunday I'll wear this top. So they'll say to you, everyone must change and wear the clothes that they will wear on Sunday service. Then you go and wear those clothes, you do your we already know that, that one's wearing a pink dress, that one's wearing a black dress. So Sunday comes, the instruction is you wear the same clothes you did for pre-recording, isn't it? So by the time TB Joshua comes out, you have a list. We have a list of saying, that one with the red top or that one with the green top, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when it comes to you would never think of it. You'll think, prophecy, yes, I receive, and this and this and this. If you've been to synagogue, you will know. Before prayer line, they'll say, wear the dress that you wore. There are clothes that you're going to wear on Sunday at the service. Wear it Saturday for the pre-recording. So by then, and the camera people are there. So when and then they'll say to you, you guys must sleep early that night. You guys go and sleep. That night we don't sleep. We are replaying all that cassette to say, Daddy, that one with the pink. This one with that one. That one works for governments in South Africa. There, this and this and this and this. Then you'll find that you'll be specially called out. And then Daddy wants to see you. But we already know your profile. So by the time you go and see him one-on-one, he knows everything, and you're thinking, God is God for me. But already we've done this. So people will probably say, but see, Claire, you still continued going even after your husbands died with your kids. Yes, I did. I continued going, because every time I went there to go see TB Joshua, I always came back with a big brown envelope. Every time I went there.
Dollars.
Anytime I want to go to TB Joshua, I would just pick up the phone and say, Daddy, I want to come. And I would go. I remember I went there with my kids because I thought, let me go for prayer for premature death, because their fathers have passed on. My father has passed on. We need deliverance from premature death. So we went there, got to synagogue, we stayed there for some time. I came back, and I think the last time I went there was in 2017, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But when I got there again, when I was there with my kids, for me it was just one of those experiences where you see, okay, fine, I'm here, it's nice, thank you very much, but you come back with money. But then again, what I want to put out there is that there's nothing horrible, there's no deceit, there's no fraud, there's no promiscuity, or whatever you want to name it, that I've done, that I've ever been called out for by either TB Joshua or Banda.
So now, what can you say to somebody who's watching right now? Somebody who believes so much in TB Joshua. What can you say? What advice can you give to somebody who's like that, who's watching right now?
Take a minute and say that before we move to the next one, because we're closing this now.
Because we still have Pastor Chris, we still have Tancredi, we still have, so.
I think for me, more than anything, I say this, I don't do church. I don't go to church. Why? Because I'm saying I'm waiting for the day when God will come and reveal himself personally to me. Because I ask myself, why is it that every single church I go to, I'll always be handpicked by a man of God? You understand? So for me, it's about strive and seek your own salvation by yourself. And that is why I'm in this campaign of Kwanele Mfundisi. I am the voice to the voiceless. We are saying enough is enough. There are people who are sitting, who are watching me now, and they're saying, Sihle, you are brave. Sihle, I remember. Sihle this, Sihle that. I am the voice to the voiceless, not because I'm revenging on anyone, but I'd be damned. I do not want anyone to go through or have a taste of what I went through. The fact that I'm not sick, I don't have HIV or whatever today, is not because I'm clever. It's because maybe, that supernatural God power is working.
Yes,
you understand?
that's God.
Because for me, I was just all over the place. You understand? So for me right now, it's a matter of saying, wake up, smell the coffee. You find your God for yourself, and that is that. And if you're a parent, this thing of giving your children away to churches and making them disciples and making them pastors and saying they must speak a certain way, dress a certain way. Hey, I was once like them. Look what happened.
She said they take them. They say whatever the person wants, they do. Anything. Yes. But you know this girl, she likes that. She was giving the man from the top. She did not know that TB Joshua's wife was coming with hot water.
Yes. You know where you are
in the mood.
When that thing whether your papa come, the only thing that can make you to jump off, even they call your name 1 million times, you
no, it's only hot water.
But if they pour you hot water or they stab you, you will fly off. That is it, you will fly off. But I'm not really blaming the girl, you understand? But she have the spirit of lust.
She has the spirit of lust.
So I don't know, something I lost in my life. I pray God will restore everything.
Exactly.
In my life.
You are just doing a quack and
everywhere you just I don't want to.
You even left. Okay, you say you want to go back to South Africa. The time they told you to go for treatment of your bones, why didn't you just stay back? Why did you come back?
No, she was that I don't even know what to call it. They've used a picture to that shrine. They've been manipulated. They swear everything. They use a name for so many things. So she have to come back. That evil thing that they've planted in that church still affecting them. It will take a long time before they realize it and leave the church.
The second abortion, who did she get? Is it wise man Christopher? She got that belly for.
Nani get time for. Nani.
But she did not say anything about why TB Joshua beat her. She just glide over that topic.
The beating. He did not hear. She said she want to go. They already know that if this girl go, it will be problem. She now said she want to leave. She was not doing a gidi. She don't go. I can't remember the Yoruba man. Not really.
So Yahweh.
They carry si your brain come down.
They say, I think the white TB Joshua is that TB Joshua was going to where he prays to his prayer altar, and she was following him. She wanted to go and see what her eyes cannot carry. That's why they give her some punches.
He did not even beat her very well. If they say he beat her, all her eyes will come cover this one. Good. People were now begging, that is holy anger.
Holy anger
is holy. You know, father can deal with her daughter. I know, even in the Bible, it's holy anger. He should take it.
You remember when those Olori Buruku white people told us that TB Joshua wants to speak with us?
They asked us that they want us to come. You want us to come so that we'll come and join your disciple.
You will be wise man John Joshua.
Yes.
Me, I'll be wise man Iche Tombo.
Yes.
My own destiny is to be drinking alcohol in church.
Yes. You will not be seeing different visions.
If I drink like this, I see different visions.
Yes.
Tombo.
You will be turning up and down. We tell that this man have been suffering from alcohol right from childhood.
You understand? Yes. And I know. See, the one that even gonna surprise me again is the disciples that died. They said they throw in trash can.
Yeah, anybody that die, what is their own business? They don't know their family. They don't know where they live.
Because they've cut their family. They've left their family for a long time.
For years. They cut the relationship between them and their family. They build a fence in between them. They cannot see them. You know, it is that place that you will go. That if you want to go and visit them, you can't spend more than 10 minutes. If they see you, if they see the disciples talking to strangers, or a family members, or any church member, more than the minute given, they will report you see it. You don't know something. So many things is happening. I don't want to talk.
I remember that building collapse. We talked about that building collapse that time. You remember?
Yes.
You remember? One of my friend lost his sister in that building collapse. Yes. Till today, he has not received anything. The only thing he received is a bid. His bid to say you are You know, they were coming to church that time. They gave them beads to say you are.
You know what? There are a lot of
but
things.
They promised them money, but they did not see the money.
They still time.
And they
when
did not see the money.
They will still see. Let them be open.
Okay, they will.
Don't you have hope?
There is hope.
When they don't reach old age, they not deliver. That time we are ready
we
to
have
give
one
them
money,
the money, but they are gone. Yeah, but let them keep open. Keep your hope alert. There are some critical things that this woman said. I don't want us to analyze it.
Let's not say.
I want people to
watch it and use your head. But that one she talked about Suleiman, that one is true. Igila is true. See, Suleiman, somebody called me to tell me that when he goes to the US like this, they bring Okpo. You know what Okpo is?
Oh, no.
Okpo.
Okpo na widow.
No. Okpo is just ashawo with big nyash. You know those correct ashawo. You see, they bring it to. I don't know. It's somebody that I'm not confirming.
We do. Maybe in the hotel room.
I'm not confirming.
They do deliverance. For
they said
those
they bring.
They break the yoke of competition in their life.
They bring the Okpo to them, to him, and he does.
Yes, we were not talking about.
So let's just. It's a side step. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy. And judge for yourself, because we've been talking about all these things for how many years? You people said we are hopeless idiots.
That we are demons.
That the devil is using.
Devil can never use me. I'm now family with devil. I never have any secrecy with the devil. You know? I am a child of God.
We have not done.
I don't belong to any pastor.
We have also not done. I don't belong
to any church. I am just telling you the truth.
Yes.
If you like, you take come. If you like, not take come. You not concern me. We are not. Some people will say you are judging. Use your sense if you have head. We are not judging any somebody. Because we will not tell you that this thing you are doing fire. But you know that anybody will do bad thing will go to fire. That's just the truth. What we are trying to say, they should just come out and tell us the truth. Let them just come and say, oh, I'm sorry, this I've been doing for so many years. I did not know. The devil that is using me. Then we will know. We will now pray for you that God will forgive you. Because even God that created everybody, God can make all these things to happen. He can still forgive them. Yeah, that is the truth. That's how God works. He can forgive anybody. So we are not judging. We are just saying that there are a lot of life that they have destroyed, a lot of future that they have destroyed, so that more will not happen. That's why we are saying this. Keep your children out of all these people. Use your sense. If you want to go to church, go to a Bible believing church that preach the gospel. Not the one that I want to say I see vision today. Not the one that doing miracle tomorrow. I say, hey, put your hand in your top the TV and receive miracle. Now that all of them are juju. Sometimes in the other shot that you watch the other time, you say yes. If they pray for you that you will receive, you will say I receive. Some of you we will receive it. But when you receive miracle, you have sold your destiny. Your destiny have been collected. So that's how it is. So always learn from these things we are talking about.
And you sickly. Stop going to different church and doing a quackery.
Yes.
Stop it.
Okay. Now.
Smarter now, she will go to Bushiri church. You hear that she has done the Bushiri.
God will help us bless the woman. She has really tried.
Okay, she has tried. But she should stop going to different churches.
She now they go church again.
She will go. Yeah, let me tell you, the spirit is in her. She will go.
We have cancelled the evil spirit in her life. All of them. Enough is enough. Odumbele confisi. That is in South Africa.
That is
Dombele Donfisi. That is enough is enough.
Thank you very much.
No evil shall befall you.
Amen.
Enough is enough. No more baga. No more baga. Enough is enough. You are healed. Every of your past, God will forgive you.
Amen.
Stay blessed.
Okay.